Man believes he has accomplished amazing things in modern times, which is undeniable, but doesn't it make you question what laid the foundation for these innovations? What events in history left their imprint on how people live today? Some artifacts have been discovered that have us questioning our existence. Since some of the old languages have since been lost, it has been impossible to comprehend the words left on some of these mysterious antique discoveries. If we do say so ourselves, some of the events that have affected history are very dreadful. For instance, in the Gobekli Tepe, there is an artifact with enigmatic markings that has led some researchers to speculate that a comet attack may have altered how ancient humans lived and ate. But the curious thing is that every civilization that has been discovered has devoted a significant amount of time to studying the constellations and engraving them on stone. What went down back then? What messages were they attempting to convey? On this channel, the strange, impossibly difficult, enigmatic, and intriguing have always captured our attention. We enjoy investigating extinct civilizations, myths that could be true, and improbable speculations. Come along with us as we embark on this adventure and share our incredible findings with you. These subjects captivate our attention for a variety of reasons, and we do not doubt that they will do the same for you. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and click the notification bell to be alerted whenever we upload a new video, such as one regarding the Stone of Gobekli Tepe. Now let's get into the topic of the day, the Gobekli Tepe, the world's oldest and most mysterious temple, which was built approximately 11,500 years ago and is still standing today, contains a pillar known as the Vulture Stone. It can be found in southern Turkey and modern-day Anatolia. The Vulture Stone relates the tale of a potential comet strike that may have changed the path of human history, and the temple offers evidence of what may have been the earliest human settlements. The stone is adorned with many animal symbols, such as an ibex, numerous birds in various poses, and a scorpion. At the bottom of the paintings on the stone is a drawing of a headless man, and the top is covered with broad, repetitive arches and squares. Numerous ideas have been proposed regarding the rock, one of which even contends that the animals on the object are ancient constellations. The picture of what looks like a duck is thought to be Libra, while the scorpion is a representation of the constellation Scorpion. When all the symbols are in alignment, the stone represents the sky on the day and time when these constellations and the sun were in alignment. The wolf symbol is lupus, and the circle form in the center represents the sun. Researchers suggest that these carvings might be describing a comet impact that took place about 10,950 BCE after testing this notion using computer simulations of the solar system. The cryptic markings at the top of the stone may symbolize comet pieces flashing through the sky, and in the case of the headless guy, it may be a symbol of death that befell mankind at the period. Around that time, the Younger Dryas, a mini ice age that lasted for 1,000 years and completely altered civilization, started. According to scientists, the appearance of this significant event altered how people lived during the period. Younger Dryas's frigid climate caused people to settle in city-states and even gave rise to agriculture. Because of the brief climate change, which reduced the availability of food for hunter-gatherers, ancient humans were compelled to find new ways to survive, which in this case meant congregating in settlements and cultivating crops. The interesting diorama suggests that the globe-shaped teepee may have been more than just a Neolithic temple, and instead served as an early observatory that recorded celestial movements at night to help the locals remember the tragic event. As of 2021, less than 5% of the site had been excavated, and it is anticipated that additional information about this enigmatic temple may be revealed in the years to come. The Judaculla Rock. Before European settlers arrived in North America, the Judaculla Rock was a sacred spot for the Cherokee Indians. It is now the subject of persistent folklore about ghosts, and even a legend that an ancient giant-like creature named Judaculla jumped from one rock to another and landed there. The Cherokee Indians, therefore, think that the seven-fingered fingerprints on the rock belong to the Wakula. 2 inscribed rocks in the region were allegedly buried during mining operations. The Judaculla was said to have the ability to converse with people and control the elements of wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. He was also said to be able to transfer people to the afterlife. In all honesty, it resembles a godlike being similar to those described in various myths. The stone itself is a soapstone outcrop with a curvilinear shape that is only 6 miles from Kalohi and has more than 1,500 petroglyphs all over it. Additionally, there are stick-like figures among the symbols on the rocks. Along with numerous carvings, there are countless cup marks. The Judaculla Rock is about 22 meters square in size. The petroglyphs were confirmed by archaeologists to date from between 2000 and 3000 BC, and they have subsequently discovered quarry tools from excavating around the old stone. What makes the rocks even more distinctive is the lack of other stones in the vicinity that had comparable markings. Theoretical explanations for the petroglyphs on the rocks are numerous and range from religious symbols with hidden meanings to maps to simple graffiti created by ancient people, as the decoding of the rocks currently appears to be out of reach. Some hypotheses even claim that the carvings on the rock were created by UFO sightings, and others assert that the area is surrounded by electromagnetic abnormalities, further adding to the mystery of the structure. Recently, a group of scientists attempted to use laser-guided equipment to construct a precise view of the Judaculla Rock for study, but the weather was unfavorable because the rocks had already begun corroding as a result of the harsh conditions. The symbols on the rocks are also reported to eventually fade away because the rock is exposed to the elements. Unfortunately, the hidden significance of the carvings on the rock will remain a mystery for the time being. However, we do hope that it won't last much longer. The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is one of the most challenging ancient stones to read since it has writing in many different languages and scripts. The black granite stone known as the Rosetta Stone, which was fractured in antiquity, is 3 feet 9 inches long by 2 feet 4.5 inches wide. According to legend, the inscribed tablet is a decree that Ptolemy V, the Egyptian ecclesiastical monarch, issued in 196 BC, attesting to his benevolence and piety. Hieroglyphics, which were utilized by priests, are the first of 3 notable codes found on the stone. The Demotic is a little less complex alphabet that can be utilized for everyday duties. Finally, there is an ancient Greek writing system. You might find it interesting to know that the stone was found in Egypt. Then why did it have Greek lettering on it? It's simple. Since Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, the rulers of Egypt who spoke the ancient Greek language on the old stone slab were his ancestors. The events that led to the discovery of the ancient item are even more puzzling because it was supposedly not intended to be uncovered. On July 19, 1799, Pierre-François Bouchard's crew was simply finishing a last-minute building operation. They had no intention of uncovering any archaeological mysteries. They most likely had no notion how their finding would alter the path of human history. When the Rosetta Stone was found at Rosetta, Egypt, the French soldiers were getting ready to fight the soldiers of the Ottoman Empire. Nobody knew how to read hieroglyphs when the stone was found, but researchers were able to read to understand the ancient Greek language. Later on, this spectacular finding of this enigmatic stone would prove to be a priceless key to understanding the hieroglyphs. Since the 4th century AD, when hieroglyphic writing and reading fell out of use, no one knew how to read or write them. However, by the 19th century, academics had managed to decode Egyptian hieroglyphs using Greek writing on the stone. As they learned, the Ptolemaic name written on the Rosetta Stone is regal. The first person to recognize that the hieroglyphs preserved the sounds of the Egyptian language was the French scholar Jean-François Champollion. Since then, the Rosetta Stone has been examined using his discovery and methodology as a foundation. The Newton Stone. The strange megalithic old stone known as the Newton Stone was found by the Earl of Aberdeen George Hamilton Gordon on an unassuming day in 1804 while he was building a road close to Pitmackie Farm in Aberdeenshire. The Irish language Ogham alphabet was used to inscribe the texts on the Newton Stone between the 1st and 9th centuries. 6 lines and 48 characters, including a swastika, make up this text. The unknown script is described as of blue gneiss and is around 2.03 meters high. It has 6 horizontal lines of characters inscribed at the top, which are thought to be debased Roman script, the meaning of which is unknown. To the left of this, down the side of the stone, runs an ogam inscription. It contains a name, Ethernon, and additional material that is either incomplete or not wholly legible. An incised kidney bean shape was observed on the lower side of the stone, identified as a possible Pictish mirror symbol. Despite these observations and descriptions, experts have never been able to determine what language was used to write this message. As a result, they refer to it as the unknown script. However, the majority of experts today accept that the long Ogam inscription is ancient. For instance, Scottish historian Williams Forbes Skene assigned a 9th century date to the enigmatic inscription. But why can't they understand the inscriptions using modern language if specialists are claiming that the letters are a form of the long-forgotten Irish language? Were these writings intended for only a select few to comprehend? Was the Newton stone intended as a covert message for someone named Ethernon, as the description claims that the inscription bears a name? John Stewart published Sculptured Stones of Scotland in 1856, which was the first attempt to decode the stone. Subsequently, Regius proposed that the unknown script was Phoenician, and since then no major decoding of the script has been made. The Feistos Disc. The Feistos Disc is undoubtedly the most enigmatic of all the ancient stones on our list, hidden among the Aegean writings from 4,000 years ago. It is right in front of us and concealing itself in plain sight, just like every other hidden mystery. Early in the 20th century, Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier discovered the Feistos Disc, a little circular piece of clay with a diameter of roughly 16 meters that has come to represent the Greek island of Crete. It is believed that the 45 distinct characters on the disc were created by pressing hieroglyph seals into the damp, malleable clay disc. The disc was discovered in the Minoan Palace and is covered with a spiral of bizarre patterns on both sides. But what distinguishes this tiny clay piece as the island's symbol? What is it about this object of art that is so alluring? The answer is quite simple. The pattern on the disc is there in our television programs and life's blind spots, luring us in with expectations of what's to come. We find the mystery around this ancient relic to be the most appealing because thorough research suggests the disc is a fake. It was created out of the archaeologist's envy to find the most mysterious antique art. But is it? Was it truly a well-planned hoax? The writing is assumed to be linear A and written in an unrelated script to any known language, ancient or modern. I suppose that's why some academics claim that the disc was a fraud. However, the discovery of further items with linear A symbols is evidence to the contrary, and it would be impossible to perpetrate such a hoax, let alone fool archaeologists for centuries. Dr. Gareth Owens, a linguist from the Technological Educational School of the island of Crete, claimed to have finally deciphered the message and revealed it to be a plea to a pregnant goddess who assumes the form of Astarte, the goddess of love. Scholars disagree with these assertions, claiming that much more research is necessary to completely comprehend and analyze the artifact's cryptic inscriptions. Is it accurate to say that the vulture stone described a comet impact thousands of years ago? Do you believe that the Feistos disc was a fraud? If that's the case, how did he manage to trick archaeologists for so long? Was there a message that the ancient people were trying to convey through their carvings? Post your comments in the comments section. I'd like to hear your thoughts.